Okay, so you're joining us here. We're about midway through a brief little trip up into the Swiss mountains to visit various uh, independent watchmakers. So you'll be seeing a few videos coming up in the next week or two. Um, Next stop for us is going to be back in Geneva, actually, where we're going to go and see Gerald Charles. And with any luck, we'll be able to sit down with the CEO, Federico Ziviani. So let's get back in the car and head back down to the lake. Federico, great to see you in your new atelier. It's been an incredibly exciting few years for you, I guess. Your 25th anniversary last year, and that came hot on the heels of opening the atelier here in Geneva. Tell me about the last few years.
It has been a great run, I have to say. We grew from only a few people in the team to over 40 people now.
Wow.
And we just opened this atelier a couple of years ago after a full renovation. So we're ramping up our savoir-faire and complication skills to ensure that Gerald Charles gets back to the high complication we used to do back in the days that I showed you from the museum as well.
The museum's actually incredible. I mean, people should really take the time to come around here to see the atelier on the Rue de Mont Blanc and see that history and connection between Gerald Genter, his designs, and what you're doing here today. And it's an interesting journey through case shapes and complications, and how's it feeding into the sort of present day collection?
It feels great. We're working already for the next 5 years of projects of development. So the atelier for us is an innovation hub that is growing. We are getting more artisans, we're getting new engineers to ramp up our capacity in building complications. So every year / 18 months, we want to introduce something new, our own interpretation of maybe an historical complication, but in a way that was never done before, because this is the DNA of our founder as well, no? Yeah. It was always disruptive in what he was making.
I mean, it's interesting. You're taking a lot of those Genter almost philosophies, the case shapes, the playfulness sometimes, the complications, and bringing them into a modern interpretation. Whether that's the shape of the Maestro case or the Master Link bracelet, it's a very well thought through story.
I think so. No, I'm happy that the message gets delivered in this way, that gets understood. Of course, it's my family interpretation, my personal interpretation of watchmaking. For us, as you see, a watch needs to be very comfortable, easy to wear. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. But at the same time, this doesn't mean that it cannot be technically advanced and finished or highly complicated. So after the jumping hour of last year, that was a success for the 25th anniversary, this year we plan some important releases as well in this direction.
I mean, you keep on saying complications, complicated. Anything you can say about 2026 on camera, or is that all just under embargo at this stage?
I can say come at Watches and Wonders. We will be there, and the atelier as well, and we can show something great in April.
Let's talk about the business side of things briefly, because I think as well as the opening of the atelier here, you've really built a phenomenal network of retailers around the world. Some of the best family names, as well as the giants like Watches of Switzerland. Tell me a little bit about that.
So when we started the brand with Gerald and my uncle in early 2000, it was a bespoke model. So there were no retailers, there were no distribution. It was a free flow of creativity from the maestro and my uncle supporting him for the last 11 years of his creative life, which left us with a great patrimony of sketches and designs. And since I joined the company after my uncle retired 6 years ago now, we had 0 doors, and now we have, I would say, the best 70 partners globally with 110 doors, having some partners with multiple doors, like Watches of Switzerland, if we want to give some names. So we're quite well distributed. We don't have a market that is really our full concentration. We're quite spread and diversified with the best. We try to work only with the best retailers.
How did that work out last year? I mean, I guess the last few years have been typified in general with this high point of 2022 when everyone thought that the watch market was going to go to the moon. Then things cooled down a little bit, and then we had the choppiness last year in the USA, the slowdown in China. Obviously, how's that fed through to you?
Of course, when the industry slows down, everybody's impacted. Nobody's immune. But there are some exceptions. we have always operated in a very conservative way. Now, if you think we only make 1,500 watches a year, so we'll always find the 1,500 collector in the world out of 7 billion people, meaning that we have always been conservative. Even when in 21, 22, the market was crazy, we didn't want to capitalize too much on it over ramping up production or things like that. So we've always been very healthy and lean in stock. We missed some sales, yes, we did, but this is the whole point of making artwork, of making collectibles. So the outlook last year was positive. We stabilized, we did a great result, and this year we have a budget of small growth compared to last year. Also fueled by the new complications, which you're mentioning, and eventually some more expansion in Asia. That was the last market where we really entered. So for us, China today is a very minimal market. It's less than 1% of our sales, if you think about it, while it normally should be double digit. We have markets like Thailand where we just are evaluating options to enter with local partners, which is also a great market. And then there is consolidation that can happen also in the UK market, where at the moment we're only in London, but the UK is a wide country and there is a lot of collectors all across. The US, even if the tariffs are of course impacting, and the weak dollar is not helping. But there is some opportunity to grow also this year in that market.
I mean, does it help that you've got this wholesale model and working with the best retailers around the world, because that you've got them in there fighting for you rather than you having to find all your own customers?
That's so right, exactly that.
And tell me about the, as we stand here today, I think the gold price touched $5,500 yesterday at one point. I mean, that's got to have an impact on the entire Swiss watchmaking industry. Is there going to be a change to new materials? Try to make some other metals seem more precious, or just what do you think the sort of impact on Gerald Charles and perhaps the wider Swiss watch industry will be with that gold price?
I think it's impacting also jewelry, which is a big market, big time. Because jewelry, you usually do it in precious.
Of course.
It's not only gold, platinum also almost doubled, silver, palladium that is used also for alloys. So I could say that now is the best time for a collector to buy a gold watch, a precious watch, because we could never increase the price as much. Our margin is for sure under pressure for that. Even when a watch is not made in gold, some components of the movements are in gold, the rotor is in gold, you always have some gold parts. And having a price doubled in 12 months is of course putting pressure on our margins. This is sure.
Now I know we can't talk about the key launch at Watches and Wonders this year, but tell me what's your outlook for 2026 more generally?
For us, 2026 in terms of product comes after 2025, which was the anniversary year, which was a year of history, celebration, museum, and so on. But in terms of product, this year is the main innovation of the last 6 for sure, since I joined. You know why it takes time? Because the research and development to innovate, it doesn't happen overnight. You need to start working now for something that you will release in 3-4 years. So finally now, 2026, the time has come, and it will be the most important year in the last decade possibly for novelties and real different interpretation of watchmaking codes in our own way.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I look forward to seeing what you're revealing at Watches and Wonders. I've had a little sneak preview, so I know everyone's going to be really excited about it.
I think so.
All right, thanks, Federico.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks.
Thank you.